This is a special holiday edition of the CBS Evening News with Dan Rather and Connie Chung.
Good evening, everyone. Dan and Connie are off tonight. I'm Giselle Fernandez. Thanksgiving, as you know, is an American holiday, but giving thanks for food is a universal experience. And in Bosnia tonight, thousands of hungry people have something to be thankful for. UN relief workers are rushing tons of relief supplies to people whose lives are endangered by winter and war. Correspondent Alan Pizzi reports.
That was outgoing, my son. That was outgoing. No bloody shooting.
This is Larry Hollingsworth of the UNHCR getting an aid convoy into Vitez. The first UN relief convoys in a month have begun to reach beleaguered towns in central Bosnia. Here, Muslims are besieged by Croats, who are in turn surrounded by more Muslims. Today in Sarajevo, French troops began setting up impromptu soup kitchens for children. A little bit of on-the-spot aid to supplement the big picture. There are threats to use force to get aid through to civilians before winter really sets in. But the emphasis is on finding ways to reach a compromise, such as easing sanctions against Serbia in exchange for more land being given back to Muslims. The chief European peace negotiator tonight charged that American reluctance to commit peacekeeping troops had effectively killed off his plan for a multi-ethnic Bosnian state.
Body bag counts are still part of US public opinion's measure of whether their forces should or should not intervene. But I suspect that history will judge that what was abandoned there was the only hope of keeping Bosnia and Herzegovina together.
I think Owen, for all his criticism of the Americans, has always understood that any solution to the Bosnian problem must have American backing.
All the main players have agreed to attend peace talks next week. The talks are already being called a last-ditch try for peace. European leaders want the U.S. to be there. But so far, Washington has been as reluctant to go along with deals as it has been to get involved on the ground. Alan Pizzi, CBS News, London.
U.S. troops are on the ground in another part of what used to be Yugoslavia. They're patrolling with a UN border force in the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia. Their mission is not to stop the war, but to contain it. Correspondent Barry Peterson reports from the front lines in Macedonia.
On this lonely hillside, America is at war's doorstep. Serbia is a mile that way. American Humvees are here not in Army green, but UN white as Operation Able Sentry, a UN mission to watch the border. Their numbers are small, 300 Americans, and their job clear. Set off an alarm if there's trouble, then get out of harm's way. Serbia's war machine is now aimed at Bosnia and Croatia, but may target Macedonia. America's presence sends a signal.
In a sense, drawing a line around the conflict. It's not an absolute guarantee, but it's done an awful lot to stem the flow of war into the wider region.
For the moment, the only fighting is among Americans trying to stay warm. The Serbs are more curious than dangerous, as Sergeant First Class Thomas Hiller learned when he spotted snipers.
They were looking at us, and it looked like they were aiming their weapons at us. But what they were really doing is looking through the scope to see the Americans.
The Americans are doing more than just watching the border with Serbia. They're also reassuring the people of Macedonia, especially in the small border villages like this one. The Macedonians feel they are safer now that the Americans are on guard. In the snowy twilight, in a place far from home, the Americans are on patrol, in Humvees, on foot. Squad leader Paul Harp makes sure his men know their job, to see and be seen, neutral, but carrying their weapons.
Keep them as ready as possible without showing any hostilities towards the Serbians, Macedonians, anyone out here. There is no enemy.
The Americans will stay indefinitely, watching a border that is now peaceful, hoping their presence will keep it that way. Barry Peterson, CBS News, on the Serbian-Macedonian border.
In this country on this Thanksgiving, Mother Nature cooked up a mixture of snow, strong wind, and ice-cold temperatures. As correspondent John Roberts reports, it was dangerous going at times for cars as well as cartoon characters.
Winter plowed into the upper Midwest a month early. Some areas of Minnesota reported an accident every hour. In Fargo, North Dakota, more than a foot of snow fell. The road to grandmother's house was treacherous.
Real nasty. If you're driving a car, it's pretty dangerous,
In some places, things were moving slowly. In others, not moving much at all. But in Denver, where the low today broke a 113-year-old record at -8, they were on the move. Runners gave new meaning to the word obsession in the 20th annual Turkey Trot.
I've seen a couple people in shorts. I think they're far crazier than we are. I mean, at least we're all bundled up.
What kind of footing will he get?
And while this might look like a typical scene in Buffalo, this was Dallas.
In New York, it wasn't the coldest Thanksgiving on record. That was set back in 1938 when the mercury dropped to 19 degrees. But at the Thanksgiving Day parade, the order of the day was staying warm.
Well, I heard on the news last night it was going to be cold, so we lay it down with everything, you know.
Oh,
the Pink Panther.
The Pink Panther.
Winds played havoc with the giant balloons. 2 people were injured when a collision between Sonic the Hedgehog and a lamppost ripped the fixture off. And handlers struggled to keep a deflating Bart Simpson aloft when winds ripped a 30-foot hole in his back.
He's losing altitude here. Oh, no.
Meteorologists warn this could just be the leading edge of what's to come. With the El Nino effect in the Pacific still a strong influence, we could be in for another winter of weird weather. John Roberts, CBS News, New York.
Many Midwesterners are still trying to recover from the weird weather they got back in the spring, the nonstop rain that caused so much flooding. But they too celebrated the holiday. As Frank Courier reports, even those who lost just about everything found they still have a lot to be thankful for.
To Thanksgiving, here.
Near Des Moines, Lori and Jeff Shayett give thanks for blessings that have brought them closer to home for the holidays. The Shayetts were among thousands of Iowans forced to flee raging floodwaters when the Des Moines and Raccoon rivers consumed whole neighborhoods. That was last July.
While most of the town beyond these sandbag levees has returned to life as it was before the floods, there are still many families struggling desperately to rebuild.
Things that we've worked so hard to get, we're going to have to start all over again.
For Lori and Jeff Shayett, starting over seemed impossible.
It's a clothesline.
Floods had drained the heart and soul from their house. Dreams built on faith and life savings lost deep underwater.
We give thanks for those who are willing to come and help and assist in the rebuilding of our community.
But finally, hope came pounding at their door. Lutheran and Methodist volunteer teams from Iowa to Canada rushed in to rebuild flood-damaged houses like the Shayetts. Their only goal, to reunite families.
That's kind of the Midwest spirit. Just come on in here and get to work on it and help or whatever. Think of it as your brothers, your mom or dads or whatever.
We're trying to get families back in their homes and for the holidays.
They call the project Home for the Holidays. Until these volunteers arrived, Jeff and Lori were ready to give up.
It makes the difference. People who care, it really makes the difference.
Hopefully, one of the next holidays we have, they can join us.
In this flood-battered working-class neighborhood, volunteers have helped lift the spirits of 17 families.
It's a blessing because the people have come in and helped us, so we are back in for Thanksgiving.
I think I still have to live with the saying, do unto others as you would have done upon to yourself. And I know that all the people that have helped us, if they ever need anything, will be right there.
It is one family's Thanksgiving promise to friends who have brought them home for the holidays. Frank Courier, CBS News, Des Moines.
Straight ahead on tonight's CBS Evening News, the Israelis get their man and a radical Palestinian commander gets his wish in death. And later, Thanksgiving in America and the new face of hunger.
Big idea. Salad shooter. From Presto, professional salad shooter slicer shredder. Big capacity and power. Special blades to point and slice thick, slice thin, shred, even ripple cut. Right where you want. Salad shooter. From Presto.
This holiday season, while you're shopping, we'll be dropping $5 million in the Discover Card Big Payback. Now, every time you use your card, you're automatically entered in our $5 million sweepstakes. It pays to Discover, the card with the big payback.
Here you go. Try this. It's a new cereal.
Ooh, granola.
No, it's new. It's Branola.
Great crunchy granola.
Mom, it's more than granola. It's Branola. With a B, like your name.
But that taste, those crunchy golden clusters baked with a touch of honey. And look, raisins.
It's got fiber from bran.
Oh, I get it. Bran granola. Branola. With a B. Like my name. Bob.
New low-fat Post granola cereal. Original or with raisins. More than granola. Granola.
Politics in the Middle East went back to bullets and bombs today. It was the worst bout of violence since Israel and the PLO signed their peace deal in September. As correspondent Bob Simon reports, it began with the killing of a radical Palestinian by Israeli agents.
He was at the top of Israel's most wanted list. Today he was held high by mourners in the Gaza Strip. Ahmed Akel, 24 years old, was a commander of the military wing of Hamas, the Muslim group waging war against the peace accords. He was on the run for 2 years. An Israeli undercover unit stopped him in his tracks with a hail of bullets yesterday afternoon. The Israelis say Akel killed 11 soldiers, 3 of them last December, another 3 the day before the deal with the PLO was sealed 2 months ago. In an interview last week for an upcoming 60 Minutes report, Akel called on his Hamas comrades to love death as much as Israeli soldiers love life. Little did he know, they were destined to be remembered as his last words. This funeral unleashed a day of fury in Gaza, the worst in many months. Those kids who've been smiling and waving PLO flags recently were back to stones today, and Israeli soldiers returned to live ammunition. Hospitals reported 34 Palestinians wounded. Gaza wasn't the only hotbed of fundamentalist revolt today, and Israel wasn't the only target. In Egypt, Muslim extremists have been trying to topple the regime of Hosni Mubarak. Today, they almost got his second in command. They planted a bomb near the home of Egypt's prime minister. His motorcade passed by, the bomb exploded, it missed him by seconds. Girls at a nearby elementary school were not so lucky. One was killed, at least 18 were injured. It was the third assassination attempt against cabinet ministers this year, and the third failure. But in Gaza, the new martyr Ahmed Akel got his wish. A book published by Hamas this week quoted him as saying, "I want to be killed by Israeli soldiers, so I will go to paradise." Bob Simon, CBS News, Tel Aviv.
Stay with us for much more CBS Evening News, including chilling new notoriety for one of America's most notorious criminals.
The Standard, an automobile seat that may transfer bumps from the road and aggravate your back. The higher standard in the all-new Cadillac DeVille is new suspension seating, which acts like a shock absorber for the driver's back, isolating you from bumps to help reduce back pressure and increase circulation, which should leave you more refreshed mile after mile. Suspension seating in the new V8-powered DeVille by Cadillac, creating a higher standard.
It's the Sears early opening sale. From 8 to 11 a.m. tomorrow, get 3 hours of great store-wide savings. Take 20 to 35% off every pair of athletic shoes in the store. All basketball shoes, all cross trainers and aerobic shoes, all tennis shoes, all running shoes. Every athletic shoe in the store, 20 to 35% off. Get the brands you want at the price that fits. Tomorrow morning, from 8 to 11 a.m., only at Sears. Your home for the holidays.
It's coming. The worst flu in years. For flu symptoms this tough, you'll need Maximum Strength Theraflu. No hot liquid medicine is more powerful in nighttime or new non-drowsy. It's tougher than the toughest flu.
Day after day, you make those glasses of thick Metamucil disappear. Why not make them all disappear with Fibercon? Doctor-recommended Fibercon gives you the same fiber regularity in tablets.
Easy to swallow tablets.
Get doctor-recommended Fibercon.
Ready for holiday shopping? We'll be live from FAO Schwartz.
Plus, how birth control helps you master middle age.
Tomorrow on CBS This Morning, breakfast for your head.
As he counts the days behind bars in California, Charles Manson is also counting dollars. The convicted killer from the 60s has found some new sources of income, his face and rock and roll. Correspondent Sandra Hughes reports.
Put the brochure in it.
This small surfer's clothing business is taking off.
Is this going to Tokyo or to Germany?
But some would say its big moneymaker is an outrage, a T-shirt with convicted murderer Charles Manson.
Charlie is like the original punk. You know, he was like antisocial, rebellious back in those days.
Back in 1969, Manson and his so-called family brutally murdered 9 people, including actress Sharon Tate, who was 8 months pregnant. Surfers too young to remember don't see any problem.
Charles Manson used to surf before he went crazy. His face is cool, but what he does isn't.
The company has signed a contract with Manson, who gets 10 cents a shirt.
Here is a man who is a cold-blooded killer that's benefiting from the notoriety that he's received.
Manson will also reportedly benefit from sales of the new Guns N' Roses album. Lead singer Axl Rose, himself a Manson t-shirt owner, has recorded a song said to be written by Manson in the 60s.
Look at your game, girl.
That's Manson.
Look at your game.
This is Axl Rose. No comment from Rose or his record company. Meanwhile, the inspiration for all this creativity is serving his life sentence in a California prison.
Helter Skelter. You're going to win your reality. You're going to get everything that you want.
Here's a man who told his followers that Adolf Hitler was his hero for what he did to the Jews in World War II.
Decades later, he's getting cult status again.
Charlie sells and Charlie retails. That's what we tell our shops.
And Charlie comes up for parole again in 1997. Sandra Hughes, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Like it or not, the Health Maintenance Organization is coming your way. HMOs are featured in the proposed health care reforms just introduced in Congress. But some patients are finding that HMOs are denying them government-approved drugs. More from CBS News health correspondent Dr. Bob Arnott.
58-year-old Phyllis Sear is hardly able to manage by herself anymore. She has Alzheimer's disease. But now for the first time, Phyllis Sear has hope. The FDA recently approved a new drug called Cognex, which slows the progression of this deadly disease in some patients.
She's been waiting for it eagerly because there is nothing else.
Hopefully, maybe I can live a little longer.
The problem is Phyllis can't get Cognex, which is the only treatment approved for Alzheimer's. Her HMO won't pay the $1,500 annual cost of the drug.
It's unfair. It's like paying for insurance that's not coming through for you when you really need it.
The giant Kaiser Permanente has just become the nation's first HMO to exclude Cognex from the list of drugs its doctors should prescribe. While the FDA has found Cognex to be safe and effective, Kaiser says it's not. They adamantly deny that money has anything to do with their decision.
Our responsibility goes far further than making a blanket statement that because a drug has been approved by the FDA, we should give unlimited access to our physicians to that drug.
CBS News has learned there are other FDA-approved drugs that some HMOs won't cover. Proscar for prostate enlargement, which may also prevent prostate cancer. Recombinant factor VIII, a genetically engineered treatment for hemophilia. And sumatriptan, which stops migraine headaches. Experts say as healthcare reform brings HMOs more to the front line of medical care, many patients may find they can't get the drugs they want. Their needs will have to be balanced against the cost of the drug and the needs of other members of the HMO. Dr. Bob Arnott, CBS News, New York.
British writer Anthony Burgess died today of cancer in London. Burgess wrote more than 50 novels. It wasn't his favorite, but A Clockwork Orange was made into a hit movie in 1971. Burgess also composed 3 symphonies. Anthony Burgess was 76. And still to come on tonight's CBS Evening News, a battle between Hollywood fantasy and French reality.
Start fresh and get a whole other kind of chip.
Chip Shot.
Presto Chip Shot potato chips. Slices so thin they gotta be crisp. Regular or ripple cut. Fry them up or even microwave for a light, no-fat chip.
Chip Shot.
Perfect Chip Shot slices. Flavor them up for the taste you want. Clean up easy. Dishwasher safe.
Chip Shot.
Crisp, light, delicious. A whole other kind of chip. Chip Shot potato chipper.
Chip Shot.
From Presto.
For sinus pain and pressure relief, take Tristan Sinus. It contains ibuprofen with 40 million prescriptions, but combined in non-prescription strength with the decongestant doctors recommend most. Tristan Sinus with 2 doctor-recommended medicines.
How fast does Ambisol start to relieve toothache pain? Before you can say,
Ambisol.
Canker sore pain? Before you can say,
Ambisol.
Relieve minor mouth pain on contact with Ambisol in regular or maximum strength.
Hiya, Eddie. What do you need?
Tums.
Eddie, this doesn't speak well for the cuisine.
It's not the cuisine, it's the calcium.
Sure. How about these?
They use aluminum and magnesium. This uses an aluminum salt. I told you. They want the calcium.
But they're all acids.
They want the Tums.
They all help to fix the heartburn.
But Tums has calcium. It's something your body needs anyway.
All right. I'll go get the Tums.
Calcium-rich Tums.
It's got to be the cuisine.
How can you own a house like this and be broke? You can't unless you live in Florida. It's not just the place to go for a suntan, it's the place to go bankrupt. 60 Minutes, Sunday.
Europe's biggest car maker has found a way to cut costs without cutting jobs. In what could be the wave of the future, Volkswagen of Germany and its largest trade union agreed today to a 4-day, 29-hour work week. The deal will save 30,000 VW workers their jobs, but their annual income will go down 10%. And just 3 weeks before a deadline to reach a global trade agreement, the U.S. and France are deadlocked over issues that could wreck the whole process. The holdouts are French farmers and filmmakers. France wants to protect its farm crops from lower prices and its movies from being out-hustled by Hollywood. Mark Phillips reports from Paris on the battle of the box office.
Bienvenue à Jurassic Park.
Silly us. We all thought Jurassic Park was just a movie, in whatever language.
Sauf s'ils découvrent comment on ouvre les portes.
But to hear people talk in France, you'd think the title might have been Invasion of the Culture Snatchers. Everywhere else in the world, the fear factor in Jurassic Park was that the dinosaurs would eat the people. But the French, who know everything about eating, of course, aren't afraid of that. They're afraid these dinosaurs will steal their souls.
It's stupid. Stupid.
What's stupid, they say, is the American demand that in any new international GATT trade deal, the French stop taxing films like Jurassic Park, or Le Fugitive, or La Ferme. The French use the tax money to subsidize their own films. The U.S. is also insisting that quotas be lifted on TV shows like Deux Flics à Miami, Miami Vice. But without quota protection, the French say the promo for the new cartoon channel here would be too true.
Tunes without frontiers are here. Welcome to the Cartoon Network.
French culture would be trampled under the Hollywood onslaught.
If there's no government help to the French television and cinema, it will simply cease to exist.
This trade war is not about money, French politicians insist. It's about culture.
Your country, by tradition, is not open to the other culture. It's not a question of films.
The way to the future is freedom and competition, not trade walls and fences and restrictions.
The most expensive French film ever made, Germinal, now running against Jurassic Park, could not have been made without the subsidy. While it's doing well, the dinosaurs do better.
I think that American movies are better.
Hollywood's attack on Europe is not new, of course.
We'll always have Paris.
The Parisians have just decided they'd like to keep a little of it for themselves. Mark Phillips, CBS News, Paris.
You build a new razor with precision heads to shave below the skin in comfort. And what do you get? Cut a precision groove to help the Norelco lift and cut system shave even closer. And what do you get? Build a razor that shaves closer, smoother than ever before. And what do you get? The new Norelco razors, our closest shave ever.
I try to ignore my sensitive teeth, but they hurt.
Don't ignore your sensitive teeth. Sensodyne helps stop the pain that can make you stop brushing. Could lead even to tooth loss.
Thanks, Sensodyne.
Trust Sensodyne, the dentist's choice for sensitive teeth.
This holiday season, while you're shopping, we'll be dropping $5 million in the Discover Card Big Payback. Now, every time you use your card, you're automatically entered in our $5 million sweepstakes. It pays to Discover, the card with the big payback.
I saw my doctor because the pain was so bad. I was afraid I needed surgery for my hemorrhoids. I was itching. The burning was awful. But my doctor said my hemorrhoids weren't serious. I didn't need surgery. He told me it was time I started using Preparation H.
Preparation H helps relieve the symptoms of inflamed hemorrhoidal tissues, often bringing relief from itching, burning, and painful irritation for hours.
What a difference Preparation H makes.
Doctor recommended Preparation H.
If you're taking the leading prescription medicines for asthma, ulcers, or high blood pressure, and you need a pain reliever, the one doctors recommend most is Tylenol. Not aspirin, not ibuprofen. Talk to your doctor about Tylenol.
It's not indigestion. It's gas. It's not heartburn. It's the painful bloating and pressure of gas. From Mylanta comes relief specially formulated for gas alone. Mylanta Gas, special relief for gas alone.
Well, on Thanksgiving Day, the parade's the thing, and there were plenty of them today all over America. Take a look. Paul Bunyan and Babe came out of the woods to entertain the crowds in Detroit. Santa Claus left the North Pole for North Carolina, checking up on the naughty and nice in Charlotte. And Mighty Mouse was flying mighty high over Houston, just one of the celebrities making it an all-around happy day for those in the Lone Star State. But the day belonged to the big guy. There he is, the star of the parade and the guest of honor at dinner. There are really two parts to this holiday, as you know. There's the thanks and there's the giving. Unfortunately, giving to food banks and soup kitchens is down this year while the demand is up. As Randall Pinkston reports, a lot of Americans are going hungry, and not just in the inner city.
If you don't think there are hungry people in America's suburbs, ask the Neelises of Fullerton, Maryland.
We were average Americans. We go to work, we work hard, we make enough money to get by week to week like everybody else.
But Anthony Neelis lost his job as a painting contractor and is now one of the 20 million Americans a month who look to food banks.
Now, this turkey is not frozen, so you need to do with it whatever you're going to do with it.
Thanks,
okay?
Kevin.
His wife, Kathleen.
It'd be very hard. I mean, we wouldn't eat. We wouldn't have no Thanksgiving.
The Neelises aren't alone. Hunger is showing up in the most unlikely places. This is affluent Columbia, Maryland.
Have you actually delivered food in neighborhoods like this?
Oh, yes.
It has to be a rare occurrence.
Used to be a rare occurrence. It's not anymore.
Volunteer Bob Kremen has been there. He lost a high-paying job and once relied on a food bank himself.
In past years, at this time of the year when we delivered Thanksgiving meals, there were always to people that we got the names off of the welfare rolls. This year, it just became substantially higher, the numbers.
Across America, food banks face shortages. Christine Vladimirov heads Second Harvest, the national network of food banks.
The demand for our food has increased about 37%, while donations have increased about 10%. So whether you do new math or old math, it doesn't work out.
Maryland alone has seen a 16% increase in the number of people eating at soup kitchens this year. Some 25,000 came for this Thanksgiving dinner.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son.
And the Neelises are part of an increase, too, of middle-class Americans forced to look to others for food. Randall Pinkston, CBS News, Fullerton, Maryland.
That's the CBS Evening News. Coming up tomorrow on CBS This Morning, the men selling those Charles Manson T-shirts and the prosecutor who put Manson behind bars. I'm Giselle Fernandez in New York. For Dan Rather and Connie Chung, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Good night.
Experience CBS News.
This healthcare system of ours,
Rather, Chung,
is badly broken.
What does this all mean to you?
What's covered?
He has a heart rate.
How does it work?
We'll offer this package of benefits.
How much will it really cost?
Dan Rather, Connie Chung, the CBS Evening News, team to cover your world.
This is CBS.
This show is for men only.